First of all, if you see the charging system malfunction in your Toyota and you can't start your vehicle, the first thing you need to do is to disconnect the battery for 5 minutes. The code may be erased and you may start your car. It's not 100% warranty you can do this, but anyway you can try. It will not fix the issue, but you may erase the codes and the car may start. Actually, there are two main scenarios why you can see the charging system malfunction warning in your Toyota. Firstly, it's actually the charging system, so alternator, battery and connection problems. And the second is the fuel problem. First of all, you may need to check the battery. The best thing is to use the load tester to check the battery, because with the battery tester you can easily identify if the battery keeps the voltage high when you give any load. Because if the load drops to lower than 10 volts when you're cranking the engine, this is the problem, and electronic control modules will go crazy in your car. You will see all kinds of error messages and warning lights. Even if you just have the multimeter, you can still check the battery. It should be at least 12.5 volts when your car doesn't work, and it should be at least 14 something volts when you just start your car after it has been sitting for a while. It means that the charging system understands that your battery needs proper charging right now. And after some time of driving, when the battery is charged, the voltage on the terminal should be about 13.5 volts, plus minus, but about 13.5. If you're getting this scenario, it means that most likely the charging system has no problems. But if something is wrong, for example, your car has been sitting the entire night, you started the engine, measured the voltage, and now you see 13 volts, 13.5 volts. It means there is some problem with the connections, battery, or the alternator. In a Toyota car, it's most likely the problem with the connections, especially if your battery is younger than 5 years. If your battery is old, the problem may be with the battery, you may just need to replace it, or maybe hook up a charger and charge it for several hours and see if the problem disappears. But most likely the issue is with the connections. You may investigate the connections on the battery. Also, it's very important to investigate the ground connection. This is the minus terminal cable that goes directly to one of the body parts, metal body parts of your car. And you need to make sure that these connections are not loose and are not corroded. This is very important to solve this issue. And then it's very common for any model year of Toyota vehicle to have an issue with alternator connections. You don't see them easily, so you will need to find the proper angle to see those connections. You will obviously need to get a good torch or something. And the alternator connections shouldn't have any corrosion on them, because if these connections look bad, have corrosion, they are loose, they may have very high resistance, and it means that the voltage in the system will drop. So first thing to do is to clean all those connections and check if they are tightened properly. Also, all modern Toyotas have a fusible link between the battery and the starter, and if there is something wrong with this fusible link, you will not start your car because there will be no power going to the starter motor. And also you may get this charging system malfunction warning. The fusible link is located near the positive terminal in your car. It's not that easy to check, so if you suspect that there are problems with this fusible link, you may need some professional help to replace it. Now we come to the fuel problem. So if your car stalls, you can't start it, and when you're trying to start it, you see the charging system malfunction, it may mean that the problem is not with the charging system, but with the fuel supply. Then when your car sits for a while, you may start it and nothing happens, and you don't see any codes stored in the electronic control modules. Actually, in most cases when this happens, the problem is with the pressure of the fuel, and the culprits of the pressure problems are different. For example, it may be very old fuel filter, or it may be the fuel filter that is located in the tank. In the fuel pump assembly, there is the very primitive filter, but if you use very bad quality fuel, after some time this filter will be clogged and it will reduce the pressure that your fuel pump gives to the system. Alternatively, there may be the problem with the injectors, whatever kind of injection you have in your Toyota, but it's not common. It's not that common for the injectors to be clogged. And of course, the problem may be with the fuel pump that is located inside the tank, or with the high pressure fuel pump if you have the direct injection engine. It's also not that common, and the problems with the fuel pumps will require professional inspection before you replace anything, because the pump, especially the high pressure fuel pump, is very expensive, and replacing it just to check if this is the culprit is just crazy.